Hello, and welcome back or welcome to Compel to Impact. Today we're going to talk about quantum identity and epigenetic abundance, turning on the genes of overflow. The theme is pulling it all together. Since this is the third in a series of videos that I've recorded, well, this is the third one. Anyway, how spirit, nervous system, and quantum identity reprogram your DNA expression through your genes. I've been studying and researching this for the last 2 years to fine-tune my work and understand how to consistently rise up into more connected spiritual alignment. Meanwhile, I'm doing the work for myself to prove that it's worth something, that this has worth to it. It's been exciting and fascinating to see how living excellently really is the working harmony of life elements made this way by design. And I'll save that for another video. But for now, what if abundance isn't something you chase or you just concentrate on, but something you can turn on inside your biology? Yes, literally, you have the key for that switch. Today, I'm going to show you how quantum identity, faith, and nervous system safety combine to activate epigenetic pathways that create overflow and a deeper spiritual life. Right? That's a mouthful. Welcome to this third part of the series. Today is where everything clicks, the spiritual, the scientific, and the energetic. And don't worry, if this is a little confusing, I will do a few more videos and try and make it simpler because I know this is a bunch of stuff. This is very intense, very deep, but stick with me and see if this is enough, if I'm saying it the right way for you to really grasp where I'm at here. But believe me, yes, I did the research and I did the studying and I've used it for myself to see how it works. And it is, as I've said in the last video, I believe, an atmosphere of abundance. And in that atmosphere, you can't help but encounter what's in alignment with you and your level of abundance. It does sound kind of woo-woo, but there's science to it. So that's pretty cool. Quantum research and ancient spiritual wisdom both tell us your identity is not created from your past. It's created from your alignment, your frequency, and the story you energetically embody. In other words, no matter what happened from before you were born, your life is less defined by the pieces your past contributed and more about what you choose to personify, the pieces you choose to embody, and how you choose to live. It's a choice, and how you respond and show up as today. Once you learn this, it's easier to make those choices through your empowered personal responsibility to be proactive for the way that you live your own life. Your cells constantly scan your internal signals for fear or faith and trust, scarcity or abundance, contraction or expansion, survival or purpose. And whichever is dominant becomes your epigenetic instruction manual. You have control over how you manage your forward motion. Your DNA is responsive, not fixed. You already have access to everything you need inside you to change your spiritual atmosphere to allow abundance. Genes are not fate. They are choices waiting for instructions. Now, through all of this, with a connection to God, your higher power, source, and however you call that entity in your life, you have the power to turn on your genes for resilience, to downgrade genes for stress when you have stress, not to get it, activate genes related to joy, creativity, and prosperity, and shift inherited patterns of fear or scarcity. Your inner environment determines gene expression once it gets the instructions from what you yourself have chosen. Essentially, your hand is on the switch, and this is information that maybe generations before you have forgotten or neglected to pass on to you. Spiritual alignment elevates your identity. Nervous system regulation stabilizes the new normal. Quantum coherence amplifies the signal. This is how science, biology, and spirituality all work together. One of the biggest lies we've heard is that they don't, right? Anyway, identity is the true catalyst, and no one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the wine would burst the wineskins, and the wine and the skins would both be lost. New wine calls for new wineskins. Yikes. Um, in other words, and because I know I just threw that in there, in other words, you cannot fit true, long-lasting transformation into a life entrenched in outdated systems. Part of that is allowing your past beliefs about yourself to keep you from growth by hanging on to dysfunctional holding patterns. This is why looking back at your past is part of the process, not to place blame or to cling to them, but to see where those patterns started tripping you up. The old type of counseling and psychology did this, but didn't always give people tools to create a new environment that's strong enough to hold a new, improved inner alignment. Now, I want to remind you, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychologist, but I am a life coach who now works with spiritual part of who we are, and our connection to the divine God that who we are connected with. um, if you're going to tear down the building or the temple of your being, you can't expect to rebuild something that will last long into the future without first building a stronger foundation. Many people try to change behavior or increase their life without changing identity, who they have been and who they authentically are, the masterpiece you are intrinsically meant to be. Removing all the gunk and junk is an essential part of uncovering your true identity, and then you are able to live in your abundance. However, abundance is not behavior. It's not repeating things over and over and hoping that it's going to happen in your life. It is a frequency of being, an inner and outer atmosphere alignment you choose with intention. It might be a mystery why you may have never heard this before. I believe there are a few parts to this. Either your ancestors didn't know, they only knew what they knew, just like us, until we learned something. Um, there have always been humans who have wanted to dominate others by keeping this key information a secret. It's true. And perhaps you needed to experience the dark side of circumstances in your life that may have come from harmful generational patterns so that you become determined to co-create with your higher power to renew your mind and transform your life. This is also amazing. It's not something we haven't heard before. We've just heard little pieces here and there, and there are just a few more pieces to the puzzle, but it takes work. It's going to take your time, energy, and maybe resources, but definitely it's going to take you to be willing to commit to doing this. Now that you have heard about this intricate connection and the work it takes to uncover and implement it in your life, it holds much more value and might make you more determined to make more monumental choices, one small step at a time. Your life can change exponentially by simply empowering words, beliefs, and actions as often as necessary every day. You might just take 5 minutes, close your eyes, and feel the density of repeating words like these. And go ahead, close your eyes, I'll say them. I am safe. I am supported. I am aligned with God, source, or divine purpose. I am receptive. I am connected. After that, your cells begin to reorganize. Your nervous system relaxes. Your intuition sharpens. Your energetic field expands, and your capacity for abundance increases. This is not hype. It's biology meeting spirit in your being. So part of this is that I can introduce my new Magnified Soul Master Plan community, membership community that will be on a blogging platform, ghost.io, and the information is in the description. Um, uh, this is part of what I want to do so that it's not an expensive program or coaching, which is usually a bigger chunk of money all at once. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you because that's exactly what that is. And this is a monthly membership program. In the membership core experience, members will experience spiritual alignment as we go through each month and touch on different subjects related to this. A nervous system repatterning, epigenetic transformation, quantum embodiment, and community support with a monthly virtual meeting. The result? A life that is not just prayed, planned, or hoped for, but embodied all the way down to your DNA. If you're going to invest in something, invest in yourself and do what it takes to get to the point where life just becomes that much easier and you don't have like any explosions or implosions that maybe you haven't had or maybe you have, but they don't happen and you experience things on a whole new level. And I think that's part of why we're here. That's part of our purpose is to be able to reconcile truth within ourselves first before we can do other things that may or may not be huge. It doesn't really matter, but we can do things more authentically when we have when we live with our own truth. If you're ready to step into that community that honors your spirit, your biology, and your divine potential, the doors are opening soon, February 1st. So click the link in the description to sign up for my free blog and then join the membership community February 1st. There's more information in there about this, but the reason I have come to this place to make this membership community is because I know it's not easy to do it on your own. And there's a ton of research and studying involved to be able to bring this to you. Okay, enough about that. So share this with someone whose spirit has been calling for more, or someone you want to partner with on this journey, or someone who just might be interested in knowing more about how these things all work together and that they need to be congruent in order for us to move forward. I really appreciate you sticking with me and listening to these videos and sharing because we have so much more to explore together. Your attitude and atmosphere of abundance isn't far away. It's in the future, the near future. And it's not some ethereal thing that only certain people are able to access. And it's not all that woo-woo, as a lot of people would say. It's already in you. It's inside you, waiting for your permission to activate. If you are ready to commit, it's an excellent way to reach your highest potential with members in the community that we'll be building together. That's it for now. I love each of you for your commitment to rise above the fray each day. And if you choose to join, I look forward to seeing you there. If not, that's cool. I'll be producing more videos and sharing more content. Live excellently, give generously, and love lavishly. Ciao for now, and Happy New Year. Ah.